Jai Hind children, welcome to today's chemistry class. We are going to start a new chapter in chemistry, carbon and its compounds. This chapter is of great importance because carbon is an element that is abundantly found in nature, everywhere around us, inside us. So the study of carbon compounds is of great importance in chemistry. In this chapter, we will discuss about the properties of carbon, the nature of carbon compounds, naming of organic compounds, etc. Before going to today's section, we need to recall the formation of ionic compounds that we have learned in the last chapter. You know that ionic compounds are formed by the complete transfer of electrons. These compounds are good conductors of electricity as they produce ions in molten state. Unlike ionic compounds, carbon compounds have a different bonding nature that we will discuss in the coming sections. Usually, carbon compounds are poor conductors of electricity. That means carbon cannot produce ions. Carbon compounds are poor conductors of electricity, which means carbon cannot produce ions. That means the bonding in carbon is not ionic. The bonding of carbon is called covalent. Let us discuss about the covalent nature and how carbon is forming covalent bonds and why carbon cannot form ionic compound in this section. Now let's study about the properties of carbon. Carbon is a non-metal which is abundantly found in nature. Carbon is a non-metal. Its atomic number is 6. Atomic number of carbon is 6. That means the number of proton and number of electron in carbon is 6. We have studied in class 9 that the atomic number of an element is equal to the number of proton and number of electron. So carbon is having atomic number 6. So number of proton is 6 and number of electron is also 6. So how to write the electronic configuration? We have different shells K, L, M, etc. K shell can hold maximum 2 electrons. Out of 6, 2 electrons are given to K shell. So remaining 4 electrons will move to the L shell. So the valence shell, that is the outermost shell in the case of carbon, is L shell. The electron present in this valence shell is called a valence electron. So carbon has 4 valence electrons. We know that an atom attains stability when it gains octet or when it gains 8 electrons, or outermost shell is completely filled. In previous cases of ionic compounds, we have studied about this. Here we have 4 electrons in the outermost shell. So carbon has to either gain 4 electron, it has to either get 4 electron and become 8 electron, or it has to lose the 4 electron and should attain the stability with K having 2 electrons, that is helium. So any of these two should happen for the carbon in order to attain stability. But unfortunately, these two won't happen, or these two cases are not possible in the case of carbon. Why carbon cannot lose or gain electron? Let us discuss about that. Suppose if carbon gains 4 electron, it becomes C4 minus. Isn't it? When it gains 4 electron, it becomes C4 minus. So even if it gains electron, the number of protons remains same for carbon. That means it has 6 proton. Carbon will have 6 proton. And now when it becomes C4 minus, the total electron becomes 6 plus 4, that is equal to 10 electron. So in the nucleus of carbon, there will be 6 proton, and when it gains 4 electron, the total number of electron becomes 10. A nucleus with the 6 protons cannot hold 10 electron. So C4 minus anion cannot exist. That means carbon cannot gain 4 electron and become C4 minus anion. This is not possible because a nucleus with a 6 proton cannot hold 10 electrons. Similarly, if it lost 4 electron, it becomes C4 plus. If it lost 4 electron, it becomes C4 plus. For losing electron or for removing electron, we require energy. The energy required to remove 4 electron will be very high, which cannot be supplied. So, we cannot remove 4 electron from an element like carbon. So, the energy required to remove this 4 electron is very high, which cannot be supplied. Hence, C4 plus ion will also cannot be formed. So these two cases are not possible in the case of carbon. C4 minus anion or C4 plus cation will not be formed. That means carbon cannot form ionic compounds or carbon cannot form ions. So the above mentioned problem of either losing or gaining electron by carbon is not possible. The only possibility for carbon is it can share its 4 electron. It can share its 4 electron. 4 is the number of electrons that is present in the outermost shell of the carbon. It can neither lose 4 electron or nor gain 4 electron, but it can share its 4 electron with any other element which is capable of accepting these electrons. Let us see. Such type of compounds formed by sharing of electrons are called covalent compounds, or the bonding in such compounds is called covalent bonding. So, covalent bonding means a bond formed by sharing of electron. Ionic bond is formed by the complete transfer of electron, whereas covalent bond is formed by the sharing of electron. So, carbon forms covalent bond. That is, carbon can share its electron, so it can form covalent bond, but it cannot form ionic bond. Now, the occurrence of carbon. Carbon generally exists in free state as well as in compound or combined state. Free state means it exists as pure carbon. The examples of free state of carbon are diamond, graphite, fullerenes. In all these forms, carbon exists in free state or these contain pure carbon. In nature, carbon also exists in compound or combined states such as carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sugar, etc. So, two different occurrences of carbon are there, free state as well as in combined or compound state. These three free states or these three pure form of carbon, diamond, graphite and fullerenes, are called allotropes of carbon. Allotropes of carbon. Allotropes means these are found in different forms in nature. All these contain carbon in pure form, but these are found, these are having different physical properties and are found in free state in nature. These are called allotropes of carbon, diamond, graphite and fullerene. Now let's discuss about the versatile nature of carbon, or two main properties of carbon. The first one is regarding the valency of carbon. What do you mean by valency? Valency is the number of electron lost, gained or the number of electron shared. In the case of carbon, the valency is 4 because carbon can share 4 electrons. So the valency of carbon is 4. That means carbon is tetravalent in nature. Carbon is tetravalent in nature. That is one of the main property of carbon. Carbon is tetravalent in nature. That means it can form bond with 4 other atoms. This gives rise to a large number of carbon compounds. It can form bond with oxygen, hydrogen, halogens, etc. And this gives rise to a large number of compounds. That is one of the first and foremost property of carbon. The valency of carbon is 4, that is tetravalent. The second important property of carbon is it can form long chain, or it has the self-linking capacity with carbon atoms. That means carbon atoms can undergo a self-linking process to form long chains or branched chains or cyclic compounds. So carbon can form a link with carbon atoms to form long chain, branched chain or cyclic compounds. This unique property of carbon is called as catenation. This unique property of carbon is called a catenation. Catenation is the self-linking capacity of carbon to form long chain, branched chain or cyclic compounds. These carbon-carbon compounds are very strong due to the small size of carbon atom. Carbon atoms are smaller in size, so the nucleus of the carbon can hold the bonded electrons very closely or very tightly. So this bonding or this bond is stronger. This property is called a catenation. So the two important properties of carbon are it is tetravalent and another property is catenation. Tetravalent means the valency of carbon is 4. Carbon can share 4 electrons, so the valency is 4. It is called a tetravalent. Catenation means the self-linking capacity of carbon to form long chain, branched chain or cyclic compounds. These are the two unique properties of carbon.